right. My name's Casey Sheld. I'm with Gamers Heroes.
Casey Sheld, Gamers
That's
Heroes.
me, man. You're the hype man now.
Yeah.
Happy to be here at SAC Gamers Expo. Let's just freewheel it, see how it goes. Obviously.
No, this was all planned.
Oh, naturally, yeah.
This was a planned interview with a very young Gary Anthony Williams.
Yes, the youngest, no more than 21.
No more than.
Should have brought some White Claws.
White, it's too early for that. We don't see color. We don't see. Actually, Uncle Ruckus only sees color.
All right. So as you mentioned, Uncle Ruckus, Boondocks, fantastic series.
Yeah.
Yeah. So exactly, what was your favorite moment in the series? From being an usher to being a babysitter.
Hey, black man, how you doing? Well, I will say this. Here's the thing about. By the way, beautiful question. Whatever your name was, that I forgot because I didn't listen well. What is your name again?
My name is Casey.
Casey. Casey.
You got it.
Yes. And we met earlier today.
We have, yes.
At the table. Who else came to my table so far? Okay. And they will tell you, I slipped a $100 bill into everyone's pocket without them even knowing who came to. Because I'm made of money, sir. I'm loaded. I got it like that.
Where's the $100?
Hey, ask the dude next to you because he has $200 in his pocket now. At this time, if you like to turn and frisk the person next to you looking for money, that is fine.
I'm sorry, I'm married.
So here was this great part about the Boondocks, all in all. So they would give us these amazing scripts that were really well written, and then after we recorded, they would go, "Hey, all right, we have that. Now just improvise. Like improvise this scene with you and Granddad. Improvise a song." So it was so much improv in there because the creator really trusted everybody. Like that's just my favorite moments of all of it. Like every song that I sang in the Boondocks, I either made up on the spot, freestyled it, and then they put music behind it after. Or one episode, "Hey, come on in, man. Get in here. Hey, family." That's my family.
Right on.
They didn't know it till this moment. Yeah, this is an intervention. Dad, you left me. I found your Latina. But you back. Because you missed me, Dad. So there was one episode, instead of me creating the songs, Aaron, the creator, Aaron Magruder, he's like, "Hey, Gary, I've been trying to write these songs for this episode where you and this guy named Jimmy Rebel write this racist album." But he's like, "There's too racist for me. Can you write the songs?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, I got you." So they did hire me to write all the songs in that. But other than that, I made up every other song I ever sang. And here's why. Long ago, I did a show called Malcolm in the Middle, which they just announced yesterday. They're about to pick up. Yeah. Hey, how you doing? What's your name? Who's looking over her shoulder like I'm not talking to her? What's your name? No, yeah, you're still looking over your shoulder like I'm not talking to you. Now you looked at your sister, and you look, yeah. Hey, Rose. So anyways, Rose, long ago, that's Rose, my sister that my dad didn't tell me about till today. So years ago, I did this show called Malcolm in the Middle with Brian Cranston, and Brian and I were talking one day, and I was saying, praising him, and he said, "You ever notice how much I hum and sing little songs on the show?" I was like, "Yeah." He said, "I do that because every time I hum or sing a song, then the music union has to pay me for it." So he's like, "If you ever get a show, just try and hum or sing songs all the time." And so my first episode of the Boondocks, that's exactly what I did. I was like, I'm going to make up a little song here, and now I get paychecks every month. Thank you, Brian Cranston.
There you go.
And no thank you, Dad. You didn't give me that information I needed as a child.
All right, so what would be your favorite song then? You probably got a lot.
I have a lot, but that first one, "Don't Trust Them New N-Words" over there. I don't trust you, sir. I do not trust you, especially you. You standing, you ready to run as soon as you pick my pocket. I don't trust you. And then you got the big guy to block me from getting to you. I don't trust either. I don't trust this trinity of Negroes around the room. I'm sorry. For people who don't know the Boondocks, I apologize. I'll get to some of the nicer kid stuff later, like Doc McStuffins. What did you ask me?
Favorite song, man?
Oh.
Should I get that White Claw?
Yeah. So, a little backstory on favorite song. When the Boondocks was originally created, it was actually created for Fox, not Adult Swim. So we did it for Fox, and Fox said, "Oh, this is too tame. You guys can kick it up a notch." So then we kicked it up a notch, and Fox goes, we will never air this." And so then Cartoon Network Adult Swim said, "Oh, we will air it." So at the table read for it, like that's when there's a big table literally like this with all the actors sitting around, and all you guys are all executives now, and we're about to read the script, and the creator is sitting beside me, and I said, "Hey, there's a song, Don't Trust Them New N-Words over there, but nothing's written." And he said, "Oh, we'll either write it before we record it, or if you just want to make something up." So I made that song up, like literally in front of the executives. And then when I went back in to record the show, I said, "So what are the real lyrics to the song now?" And they go, "Oh, no, we just wrote down what you did, and we just re-sing it." So that was probably my favorite, because that was the first time I saw how the show worked. Like, oh, if you do something fun, they're going to trust you, and they're just going to let you do more of it. So it was probably one of my favorites on there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And I know you've got a huge range of work.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. I got a loud speaking voice. Anyway, I know you have a big range of work, and you work in games too. So,
Yeah.
Horizon Zero Dawn and Frozen Wilds, what was it like doing video games as opposed to TV?
See, I was telling somebody this today. Video games for me are the hardest, because you have to die a lot, and you have to scream, and you have to yell, and it's like, give me 5 hits to the right side of your face. All right, now give me 5 hits to the left side of your face. Or you just got shot, or you're falling off a building and there's an impact. So there's a lot. Say that again, brother? You got to beat your own. That's going to be the name of my new book. Beating my own. The Gary Anthony Williams story. Yeah, man, you got to beat your own in the studio. Rose, I'm sorry you had to hear that, but it's just true. So that's the hardest part, because it's a lot of vocal strain. And they will tell you for a job, when you're auditioning like this job has a lot of vocal strain. They usually pay you extra for it. But since you and I are independently wealthy, we don't care about money. That doesn't matter to us. That's how we roll. Critical Role songs, hey? So usually you would save the screaming and the yelling and the dying and the getting shot and falling till the very end of the day. And I usually save it for a Friday, so I know I have Saturday and Sunday to rest my voice. So the video game stuff is, for me, the toughest part of the business. Still fun. Like, I don't do a job, if it's not fun, I'm just not doing it. If I don't think it's fun, I will literally go, I'm not doing that.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I'm pulling the skeletons out of the closet. I brought this out at the table, but you were in Britney's dance beat too. Tell us about that.
You tell me about it.
No, you're the
so
expert.
2 things have happened today that I have not heard. I just started doing conventions during the strike, whenever that was. 2 years ago now? I don't know. Yeah, it flies, man. When you're beating your own, time flies. Phil Lamar, who's a good buddy of mine, who owes me his career. Phil kind of owes me his career. I was the original Kit Fisto. But at the same time, I was doing this TV show called Boston Legal, and at that time, that you had to be in the room when you recorded with the rest of the cast, and so I had to give up the job, and then Phil got it. So Phil would be nothing without me. They wouldn't even know his name now. No, he's a good dude. So what was your question?
Oh, don't dodge the question now. Britney's dance beat. Let's hear all about it.
I don't know all about it. It was one of the first things I ever did when I moved to LA in '98. And it was a video game, and I think I played Britney Spears' bodyguard.
Interesting.
I think so. Was that what I played?
I'd imagine so, yes.
I think so. And they were like, "Do you want to meet Britney?" And I was like, "Yeah," but then my schedule got crazy, and I didn't get to meet her. And then she had problems after that. But I figured if I had met her, she would never have had those problems, because all it really takes is a black guy talking to a white woman to fix them.
And that's what I wanted to hear.
Yeah. But yeah, that was one of the first things that I ever did.
Nice.
The Amanda Show, and then my next real job after the Amanda Show was Malcolm in the Middle. That's how I started out there. Yeah.
Nice, nice. So what I'd like to know is exactly how do you train for these types of roles in the first place?
Oh, I eat.
Let's hear some exercises.
I eat nothing but soup. I wake up every morning and I eat a gallon of cold butter, followed by some room temperature soup.
I usually go to my microphone in my office, in my booth, and I start talking. That's it. I don't do a lot of. I don't do a lot of. I wait to see what the script looks like and the character description. I don't try to plan ahead a lot because I am a guy. My first professional jobs were Shakespeare and improv comedy, so I rely on knowing that I can act and I can improvise. So if they go, oh no, that guy's not Italian, he needs to be more French, or just more you, or more older, or I keep it pretty loose.
There you go.
If it's a strenuous job, I definitely warm up before. The only things that make me nervous in voiceover is singing. I sing on stage a lot, like doing improv, like on Who's Line, but I'm not comfortable singing somebody else's words. I'm fine singing my own tunes and my own words, but singing makes me nervous for sure, so I definitely prep a lot for that. Other than that, I usually read a script over once before I record. I would be much more successful if I paid more attention.
You're plenty successful. You're the expert right here. I am deeply humbled.
No. There's no humble. We are all.
And I know how to butter you up too.
No, we're all, man, I tell everybody, like, if voiceover is something that you're interested in, just try it. I got into acting by a total computer error in high school. I got into voiceover because a friend of mine saw me on stage, a brand new friend, and was like, hey, you should do voiceover. Like, I've never done voiceover. Well, I'm writing a commercial for you. Come by the studio tomorrow. And then the guy saw me there, and then he's like, hey, you should do voiceover. Here's a demo. So I got into it all by a total mistake and just being open to, all right, I'll try it. I might as well. So there's no bowing to any of that stuff. It's like all people who do stuff. Like, I'm more impressed by people who can do things that I can't. Like, I just met this couple who own this big construction company. That's more impressive to me than me going, hi, everybody. Get out of here, SpongeBob. You know, like, oh, okay. I get to play every freaking day of my life, and that is a joy. So I do say, like, whatever you find that in your life that brings you that kind of joy, then please run to that, man. I love not ever thinking, oh man, I have never woke up and said, oh man, today I gotta, when it come to work, oh man, I have to go in. Like, no, it's like, oh, I get to do that. I get to hang out with Tom Kenny today. I get to, see my buddies. I get to make stupid sounds. Yeah.
So on that note, do you have a dream role in mind? Anything you've always wanted to
I want to be you.
Aw, thank you. It's always mutual.
Yes, I want to be you.
No, man, I like take every day as it comes, and I'm always surprised when something cool comes along. I don't have any like, oh man, if I could ever play this guy or that. I've never lived my life that way ever. Even as a little kid, I never had those. Sadly, maybe, I don't know, those kind of aspirations. I just enjoy it as it comes. I enjoy living in the moment. I enjoy creating new stuff. I'm always just creating stuff just because it's fun for me. I seek joy every single day of my life. So I never thought of it as, man, I really need to play Malcolm X. And if that happened, that would be great. But no. Like this new reboot for Malcolm, like that's, of course, that's just going to be ridiculously fun. But I never went, man, I hope they do the reboot. I never even thought about that. I'm just too busy enjoying what's in front of me right now. Yeah.
How much during the process of writing Boondocks did Uncle Ruckus learn to have the freeform his own lines?
Every single day. Literally every day. From the first day from that table read where I just made up that song, to the first day we recorded, me and John Witherspoon were doing some scene together, and Aaron's like, that's great. Now no, just do one without the script. Every day. Every day. And they never said, nope, don't improvise there. Ever. Aaron was always like, you got something better? Say it. Tape is rolling, man. So every single episode was improvised. Like, you know, written, well written, but the opportunity to improvise. Say that again, Fred?
The way you guys express the characters is written about, or not even written about, but improvised was treated for you guys. Felt they weren't right.
Yeah. And then they would do stuff like, people know the story now, but there was an episode with Tyler Perry, and that happened because that was part of it was from a true story, where I got invited to Tyler Perry's house to read this new movie, and then I got caught not praying on tape, and then I didn't get the job. So I told Aaron Magruder about it. He goes, "That's funny," and then Monday he's like, "Hey man, I just sent you a new script," and it was that script, and then we made it, and then they were like, "This is never going to air in the U.S." And they shut it down from airing in the U.S. Now, I don't know if, I know you can see it on video and stuff now, but I don't think it can still ever be televised. Yeah. 'Cause Tyler Perry's a powerful Negro. He owns white slaves. He's that powerful. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I do not understand. I don't understand. I say he invented sitcom instead of sitcom. I don't understand, but that's me. I have love, but it is. No, it is. Yeah, I think everybody knows what it is, and Tyler knows. So I was doing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and he and I were both actors in it. And this is when I realized that Tyler knew what he was putting out. We're all at this big thing, and press thing, and they said, "Mr. Perry, how would Turtles have been different had you produced it?" And he said something like, "It'd cost $5,000 and I'd have shot it in a week." Like, it's like, oh, so you know you putting out schlock. Okay, all right. Then I was like, okay, all right, you know what you're doing. All right, yeah. So, yeah. I recorded 8 episodes of the Boondocks a few years ago, right before and after John Witherspoon died, the actor who played Granddad. So we were in the middle of making new episodes, and even after he died, we were still, how long is it? 5 minutes, thank you. I'll talk faster in my head, but my mouth is gonna be the same. We were in the middle of making brand new episodes. I have 8 of them in the can that I recorded, but to be honest with you, it was HBO Max and Sony pulled out of the deal. HBO Max still wanted to make it, but Sony pulled out. They wouldn't let us say. Now we can talk about it openly, but at the time, they were like, no, it was because Witherspoon died. It really wasn't even that. They were trying to figure out how to replace his voice, and his wife had given the okay to replace his voice, because we would not have gone on to even think about it if his wife had said it's not a good idea. And she was like, no, he would want you guys to. So I might disagree with you. I think you would have to be, I think even me playing Ruckus, I have to go, this is this idiot character. This is who it is. Some people are going to be angry. Some people are going to love it. If people understand the entire satire of it, it's going to work. Yeah, people are sensitive, and I honestly think people have a right to be sensitive. I am a person who, if you got a pronoun you want me to use, I will happily use that. I'm not trying to be out, me, Gary, and I'm not trying to be out here upsetting anybody in life. I want people to call me what I want to be called. So I'm not trying to be, but like, that's different for Ruckus. Like, oh, there's no pronouns. Yeah. So I think it could be done. I think you have to have a very thick skin when you are in the business of making that kind of satire, though. Yeah.
We got 3 minutes left, but you mentioned about John, and I'm about to get on that right now. As you was working with the Boondocks for like, I think 3 seasons already. I just want to know, and I hope it's not heartbreaking a little bit, but what was like working and interacting with the late John Witherspoon when you was working with him?
Witherspoon was brilliant. Oh, way older than me. I don't know how old Witherspoon was, but I would go to his house. First time I went to his house, I said, Gaby, stop by my house today. So I go to his house. Beautiful. He's been a stand-up forever on the road. He was on the road every weekend. He swam every day. He played tennis every day. He was just in amazing physical shape. And I go to his house, like, hey, this is my house. And I'll show you my house. Let me show you my office. And he was so loaded, and I didn't know that at the time. His office was another house that used to be the house behind his house, like on the next street over, but he had taken down the fence, and it was a house. His office was a house. And he walks me through, he's like, this is my office. This is kitchen. White folks used to cook in the kitchen. The bedroom, white folks made love in the bedroom there. So he had bought some white dude's house and then made it into his office. He was just the funniest, kindest. The three people in this business that are kinder than anybody I know. John Witherspoon was one. Brian Cranston is the other. And the guy who hosts the Price is Right now, Drew Carey. Drew Carey is the other. Those are the kindest, most selfless human beings I ever met, and Witherspoon was one of those. He would go out of his way to help anybody do anything, any day, whether it was financially or just making a phone call. Just one of the kindest people I ever met, and funny as hell. When they just put us in the booth together and like, all right, just go. Just do a scene. You two are playing checkers. Just make it up. All right, yeah. Brilliant, dude. Couldn't ask for a better dude.
You got a favorite episode? My personal favorite was the one when you performed The Exorcist.
That is, raise your hand if you know the Boondocks and the Exorcist episode is your favorite. That is by far the crowd favorite. Here's a secret of me. Once I shoot something, unless I have a friend or family going, hey, let's watch it again, I never watch it again. I've never watched anything I ever do unless somebody just wants to watch it with me. So I haven't even seen that episode since I did it. And everybody, like the majority of the people, like that's their favorite episode. I don't have a single favorite. My favorite thing is the way that whole team worked. Like Regina King, me, Cedric Yarbrough, John Witherspoon. Like that group of people being in the room with them, recording that stuff and literally just sitting there making each other laugh all the time. That's just overall just greatness to the freedom of that, like working with your buddies and just having a good time was it. Yeah. That was it. Thank you to my interviewer, Casey, who just...
It was a huge honor. Thank you.
So the people who walked in late, you don't know, he wasn't even supposed to be interviewing me. I asked for interview volunteers, Dad, and he just stepped in. You know, he stepped up to the plate like you didn't know those many years ago. If anybody has any questions or anything, my booth is out there. Come by and say, I might have to go grab a bite to eat real quick, maybe first. I don't know. Who needs to eat nowadays? We don't believe in it. We're independently wealthy. We might not be. I might be saying that. But seriously, thank you guys for taking the time out to pop in. If you have any questions, anything, just stop by the booth.